First of all, I just want to remind Vermonters, along with Neil Underbill and the team who's working so hard on Irene, a week from today is the deadline to register with FEMA for both businesses and individuals, renters that might have incurred damage during the storm. After next week, a week from today, the 15th of November, it is too late to register for help from the federal government that you may well need and you certainly deserve. So homeowners, business owners, renters, if you had damage to either your personal property or your business property, it's really important that you register with FEMA. We have found that generally there are fewer Vermonters registering than we think might be out there. So we just want to reiterate again how tremendously important it is to get the word out to your friends and neighbors and communities that were hit so hard by Irene. The deadline was extended until November 15th. It won't be extended after that. And you won't be able to get help if you haven't registered with FEMA after a week from today, November 15th. Second, I have with me both Neil Vanderbilt and Commissioner Noel McKay. We're launching today what we're calling the Community Recovery Partnership. And if anything that is, if we've learned anything from Irene, it is that throughout Vermont, local people have come together in a partnership with local government, state government, and private sector to rebuild this state faster than anyone would have envisioned 9-10 weeks ago. We want to harness that energy, harness the local community planning and the efforts to rebuild Irene better than the way she found us by putting together what we're calling the Community Recovery Partnership, where we will go out with members of our administration to have local meetings. We anticipate hitting about 45 communities around Vermont as quickly as we can to bring together the private sector, the local leadership in the community, select boards, planning commissions, emergency management folks, fire departments, road crews, with all of the other people that have been so helpful in this recovery to find out how the state can partner with them, since we know that all recovery is local. How can we help them to rebuild better than the way Irene found us? What are their needs? What is their vision? How do we ensure that we're making the right decisions for the future? And how can the state be a facilitating partner in that discussion to ensure that we keep the good work that we've begun moving forward so that we really deliver on a state that's in better shape than the way Irene found us. So I want to turn this now over to the two folks that have worked really hard on the Community Recovery Partnership. And I'm going to start with Noel McKay.
Thank you. Thank you. We've been working at the state level on response, and now we need to move into recovery. And in order to understand where we need to go, we could make it up at the state level, but we really need to know from the communities where they want to go. And in order to do that, we're going to go out to the communities and ask them, what are their goals for the future? What issues are they struggling with? Where do they have capacity? And where is the gap in capacity to meet their needs? And we're going to do that with folks from the Agency of Transportation, our Agency of Commerce and Community Development, Agency of Human Services, and Agency of Natural Resources, so that we can really hear where communities want to go and understand how do we best fit our programs and work with other partners to strategically meet those needs. There's a lot, as the governor has said, the private sector, community organizations, nonprofits have all come together. We need to continue to harness that energy and keep that momentum moving forward, because we're going to be working on these issues 6 months from now, a year from now, 15 months from now, and we want to make sure that we're really pulling people together. We're all on the same track moving forward, so that when we look back 10 years from now, we can say we worked together, we were strategic, thoughtful, and we are more resilient. Our communities are more resilient and more competitively situated to deal with the next flood or situation that comes. So our first community is going to be the 17th. In the Mad River Valley, we're going to do 5 communities on the 17th. The way we're going to work is do afternoon stakeholder meetings, as the governor mentioned, with the private sector, the economic development groups, the housing groups, the town folks, the planning commission, conservation groups, kind of talk to them and see what they see as the needs on the ground. And in the evening, we're going to hold a public meeting and invite folks to come and hear from them as to what their needs are. Our second meeting is going to be on the 6th of December in Grafton. And this week we're going to spend setting up meetings around the rest of the state. Our goal is to hit all of the communities with major impacts by the end of January and have a report for the governor and the legislature mid-February.
Thank you, Commissioner. The owner.
Great. Well, thank you all. I just want to hit on a couple points. Commissioner McKay and the governor hit on so many of them so well. This is a town-led process. The state's role in recovery is one of support. The governor said very well, all recovery is local. We know that the energy, the spirit, and the long-term drive will come from the community. So it's important that we get community participants to be involved in this. And it's not just the community leaders. Leaders take a lot of different shapes. A person doesn't have to have a title to have a voice in this process. A lot of community leaders have emerged during the Irene response phase. They came out as volunteer coordinators or just somebody to help out. We want to make sure that they're involved in this as well. And that's why we're having both a stakeholder session and an open process to get all these ideas, capture all the thoughts going forward in a way we can rebuild better, stronger communities to rebuild a better Vermont. So that's why it's very important that we encourage all Vermonters to come out for these. The state will play a supporting role in this process and help facilitate these conversations and bring time and talent to the table where we might not be able to bring the financial resources. We can bring the time and talent that will be able to help communities in the long term.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner McKay and Neil, for your great work. And I got to say, one reason we are where we are in this recovery is because of the good work of our recovery officer, Neil Lunderville, and Neil and